Cool, let's get started. So welcome to the second session in the Aroha room, Normalising te reo in the workplace. We have Anton here, which you've all met, who did a wonderful job welcoming us in the beginning. So just a little bit about Anton. So Anton, along with his sister and wife, are proud owners of Fush. For anyone here that's from Christchurch, everyone here from Christchurch had Fush already before, yeah? Yes, it's super good. I just love it. So Fush is one of the few Māori restaurants in New Zealand to have a bilingual menu. Each item is listed in English and te reo. And Anton is doing all he can to revitalise and normalise te reo in Aotearoa, one customer at a time. So I will hand it over to you, Anton.
Ka pai, kia ora. Thank you very much for those kind words, and kia ora everybody. Thank you very much for your time and for giving up your precious time and coming to hang out with me. It's awesome to have you all here. So, I mean, I've kind of been given I'm going to try and keep the whole session to about 25 minutes, and I thought I might try and split that up, sort of 15 to 20 minutes of, sort of teaching and talking, and then we'll open it up at the end for some questions and answers, if that's all right. So, that's not a huge amount of time. Well, not for me anyway. I'm used to going on and on a bit of a kōrero spree. So I'm going to try and stick to an agenda which I've written here. So I really wanted to start off by sort of busting this myth, I suppose, that if you can't speak te reo, if you can't say the entire thing that you want to say in te reo Māori, then it's better just to not say anything at all. That's something that I've heard time and time again over the last few years, and look, I don't know really where it comes from, but I personally don't agree. And I don't speak on behalf of all Māoridom, of course. We're not all the same, but these are just my whakaaro, my views. Personally, I love it. I really love it when people give it a go, when they try their hardest. And so I really want to start off by saying, those of you who are reluctant or feeling a bit apprehensive, perhaps, about speaking te reo Māori because maybe you can't say the entire sentence in te reo Māori, and so therefore you're worried that you might be disrespectful or that you might upset someone by giving it a go. I'm here to kind of let you know that certainly when you're in my presence, and certainly others like me, I have lots of friends who think this as well. We love hearing people give it a go. So please, if you know a couple of words, if you only know one word, let's say you only know the Māori word for family, which is whānau. If that's the only Māori word that you know, kei te pai, all good. Just find lots of opportunities to talk about your whānau. I would far rather hear you use the word whānau correctly 50 times than not say anything at all. So that's the first thing that I want to talk about. The idea that if you can't say it all in te reo Māori, you shouldn't say anything at all. That's absolute rubbish. And for anyone that disagrees with me, I'll find my email address. It's very easy to find. I'll be willing to have a discussion and a debate with you anytime, because I really do believe that. And look, and I suppose that kind of segues into my next point, that when it comes to giving te reo Māori a go, that the most important thing, in my opinion, is your attitude. Okay, if I can tell when someone's really trying versus when they're not trying at all. Okay, so for example, the correct way to say Māori is Māori. Now there's a macron on there, a macron over the first A, which means it's a long A sound, so it's Māori. Okay, it sounds a little bit like the word mouldy, as in a mouldy cheese or a mouldy piece of bread or something. Māori. Now, if you try and say Māori and you don't quite nail it, and it comes out a little bit like let's say for instance, Māori. Okay, you can kind of hear there's a slight difference there. Māori versus Māori. Now, if I hear you say Māori, I can tell that you're making a real genuine effort, and that's really choice in my books. So I give you a pat on the back. Now in private I might say, hey, look, here's a strategy to maybe try and improve the way that you say the word Māori. But I would never ever cut you down in front of your friends. I'd never disrespect you and have a go at you. Now you compare that with someone who just goes Maori, and it's, both Māori and Maori are both incorrect, but one is an example of someone making a good effort and giving it a good crack and trying their best, and the other one is just an example of someone going, don't care, Maori this, Maori that. And the former, the person who makes a real effort, they can come and hang out with me anytime. The person who just goes, Maori, you know, that's fine. You can go and hang out over there in the corner by yourself. But the point is that giving it a go, your attitude is what counts, okay? And so just keep that in the back of your mind. Now, because we don't have heaps and heaps of time, what I'd like to do today is I want to talk about 10 words, okay? And the idea is that hopefully there'll be something in here that you can take away. And what I'd really, really encourage you to do is to, you know, take what you can from this session, and I want you to go out into your, not only your workplaces, but your community, around your home, around your kāinga, okay, your home, and try and normalize this as much as you can. What I mean by normalize it, I'm going to talk a little bit about this idea that I've kind of got, which is, I call it pigeon Māori. And the idea of pigeon Māori is that you take the little gold nuggets that you've got, maybe it's the word whānau, and you try and drop it into an English sentence, if that's your native language. If you're very good at speaking English, then I want you to substitute out the word whānau for family whenever you're talking about your family, and that's called pigeon Māori. Okay, you don't necessarily have the vocab to fill out an entire sentence, but I know the word whānau. I'm going to make an effort to use the word whānau. So this idea of pigeon Māori is something that I'm really into at the moment, and I want to encourage you to take that idea and embrace it in your workplaces and around your home and in your community. So the way to do that is to learn a few words and then learn how to put them in the right context. Okay, so the first word that I want to talk about today is hui. Hui is spelled H-U-I, hui, and it's pronounced hui as in who are you, who am I, hui. Okay, hui. W-H-O is how you would spell who in English. That's how you say it in Māori, hui. And hui means a meeting. So you could say, for example, this is in lockdown, these things have become known as zuis, as in a Zoom hui. But the Māori word for meeting is hui. And you could say, for instance, at work, are you going to come to the hui this afternoon? Now, you could say, are you going to come to the meeting this afternoon? But the idea of normalising te reo Māori is dropping those little words like hui, that we've kind of all heard them. We're all sort of familiar with the word hui, but maybe we're all a bit reluctant to use it because we haven't used it, we haven't heard it used correctly in the right context. And so I'm going to ask you to be my ambassador and go out into your communities and start dropping these little Māori knowledge bombs around your workplace. So you could say, oh, you're coming to the hui this afternoon? Or what time is our hui today? Or what did you think of that hui? Was it a bit boring, or did you find it really, really exciting? So the first word that I'm going to teach you today is hui. And I'm going to encourage you to go out and try and, maybe you've got a meeting board at work. So take the word out for, management meeting and write management hui. Just take it out and just see what happens. Okay, I think people will figure it out. So that's one way that you can normalize the word hui around your workplace. Number two, I've already talked about this word plenty, whānau, spelled W-H-A with a tohu tō, a macron above that A, okay, and that elongates that sound. So rather than saying whānau, we're saying whānau, whānau. So it's a long A sound, whānau. So W-H-A with a macron, N-A-U. Now that A-U sound at the end of the word whānau really trips a lot of people up. If you're not used to speaking te reo Māori, then the AU at the end of that word can really give people a lot of stress, and it often comes out as an ow. Okay, think of the word taupo. There's the AU sound in the word taupo. A lot of times people mispronounce it and it comes out as an ow. Okay, but it's actually pronounced like the letter O. O. Okay, so we've got a, u. When you say it together, it comes out as o. So taupo and whānau. Okay, so not whānau, not taupo, but whānau. Now whānau is a beautiful word. It means family, but not necessarily just your blood whānau. You don't have to be biologically related to someone for them to be your whānau. You can refer to your little community at work. Maybe you've got a really, really tight team at work. They can be your whānau. You can refer to yourselves as the cool whānau, or the HR whānau, or the marketing whānau, or whatever. Okay, so you can be a whānau at work. Think sports clubs, community groups. You can all refer to yourselves as a whānau, but of course it can be your biological whānau as well. So whānau's a really choice word. You can say to things, hey, how's the whānau? Awesome sentence. How's the family? What did you do with the whānau over the weekend? Great question to ask on a Monday morning when you see your co-workers. So whānau, another awesome word, and I really encourage you to drop that into your Monday morning hui. When you're catching up about people's weekend, you can say, how's the whānau? How was netball? How was rugby league? How was whatever? Okay, so whānau is the second word. Third word, and this is totally appropriate for work, mahi. Mahi, okay, M-A-H-I. M for mum, mahi, mahi. Those of you who eat fish, you might have heard of the word, the type of fish, mahi mahi. Mahi mahi means something quite different in English. You can look that up in your own time. So I wouldn't encourage you to go talking about mahi mahi, unless you're in good company, of course. But mahi means work. So you can say, oh, look, how's mahi? You know, how was your day at mahi today? How was your day at work today? Or what have you got going on at mahi? What have you got going on at work? So a really, really cool word that you can start to drop in at mahi, at work, is the word mahi. Fourth one, and this is a little bit confusing, this word. The Māori word, the word is kaupapa. Okay, it's quite a long word, kaupapa, spelled K-A-U, ko, P-A-P-A, papa, kaupapa. Now, kaupapa means a theme or an initiative, or a topic even, okay? And so we often talk about, like, this is a really exciting kaupapa that we're a part of today. So this is a really cool initiative, exciting initiative that we're a part of. The Impact Unconference is a really awesome kaupapa, okay? So you can say, hey, that's a really, you might have a co-worker that came back from a really awesome meeting with a local charity or a local business. And they might come back and say, oh, I had a really awesome meeting with so-and-so today. And you can say, oh, they've got a really awesome kaupapa going on over there. They've got a really awesome theme, a really awesome initiative, really awesome ethos. Okay, so a kaupapa is sort of like an ethos, a theme, a topic, an initiative. And if you think that that's a really awesome thing that's going on over there, or you've seen something that you thought was really, really choice, you can say, hey, that's a really cool kaupapa, or that's a really lovely kaupapa. So, for example, look in the lockdown, there's been a number of really awesome kaupapa that have emerged out of the lockdown. One that comes to mind is one that we've been a part of, that we've participated in our business, which is SOS Cafe, which was a non-for-profit. I think they're in Wellington. They just started up a really cool kaupapa to try and raise money by selling vouchers in the lockdown for local eateries like ours. And so that's a really awesome kaupapa. So if you see a really awesome initiative, and we're all gonna, I'm sure we'll hear lots and lots about other people's initiatives and businesses and charities and all the rest of it, make sure that you use the word kaupapa if you want to refer to them as, hey, look, that's a really, really awesome initiative or kaupapa that you've got going on over there. Okay, so those are a few words there. I also wanted to talk about really, really quickly, just to kind of change things or change tact a little bit, other ways that you could normalize te reo Māori in your workplace. And I want to talk about this word kia ora. Okay, so K-I-A, new word O-R-A, kia ora. Now, kia ora, or as it sort of rolls off the tongue as a kia ora, means hello. It also means thank you. So it's a really awesome word to kind of, if you're going to take any word away, make sure it's kia ora, because it's super versatile. So you can use it in the morning to say hello to your significant other, to your children, to your co-workers, to strangers at the supermarket, whatever. Kia ora. It means hello. It's one of those words that has become part of the New Zealand vocab. You know, in New Zealand has a magazine called Kia ora. There really aren't too many New Zealanders walking around who wouldn't know what you meant when you say kia ora. But in saying that, a body language goes a long way. So for example, if I said to you, kia ora, I'm using kia ora as hello. If I say kia ora, I'm using kia ora to say thank you. So body language also goes a really long way when you're using the word kia ora. But kia ora can mean hello. It can also mean kia ora, thank you. So you can use this in your emails. You can also use it face to face, and you can use it on the phone. And so I've got this thing that I call the kia ora challenge, which I'm going to talk about for hopefully 2 minutes. And there are 3 stages to the kia ora challenge. Okay, number 1 is I want you to start using kia ora. I'm going to encourage you, and this is for 1 week. Okay, just try it for a week. If it doesn't work, you can write me an email and say, Anton, you're full of it, you're rubbish, you embarrass me, I don't like you, whatever, that's fine. But I don't think you'll do that, because I've done this lots of times already, and the feedback has been overwhelmingly positive. But the idea is to try and build your confidence slowly in a manageable way that doesn't make you feel uncomfortable, to use the word kia ora. So number 1, I want you to start by using kia ora in all of your emails and your messages, your text messages, your Facebook messages, Instagram if that's what you use. All I want you to do, let's say you're writing a message to your best friend, your BFF of 15 years. Normally you say, what's up? Or you say hello or whatever. I just want you to change and just say, kia ora, BFF, and then just go into the body of your email or the body of your message or whatever, and just pretend like it's no big deal. Just start with kia ora, that's all. Okay, and I want you to do this. I really want you to challenge yourself. It will be uncomfortable, okay, because no one likes change. It's always going to be uncomfortable. But hey, we're living in an uncomfortable world, right? So if there's any time to try it, it's right now. So start with kia ora and just see how it goes. Now, what you'll find, and this is the really, really cool thing, is that I think of the word kia ora like a smile or a yawn. It's incredibly contagious. When you say kia ora in your email, I guarantee people will start saying kia ora back to you. And that is how we change and shift culture. Okay, so you start with kia ora and then just go into your email, cover all the things that you need to, and then just send it off as normal. And just wait for a response. Now, tomorrow when you wake up and the sun rises and your house is still standing and the world is still spinning, you'll start to realize that, hey, no big deal. Okay, and you might try this for 2 or 3 days. Do it with your boss, do it with your co-worker, do it with your mates, do it with your children, whatever. Okay, kia ora is for everybody. And after a bit of time, you'll build a bit of confidence and you'll go, actually, I think New Zealand is ready for kia ora, the kia ora challenge. And then the next thing you're going to do is you're going to take it to this. This is your phone, okay? Now, the reason why your phone is step number 2 is because your phone still has that screen, that barrier, that physical barrier between you and the other person. So when you're writing an email, you can start with kia ora, you can type it out. Oh, no, I'm a bit nervous, I'll delete it. No, I'm going to type it out. No, bugger, I'm going to do it. Okay, so you kind of have that opportunity to go back and forth. On the phone, you don't really have the same opportunity to go back, okay, because once you've said something, it's out there. But you do kind of have that physical barrier to relieve the awkwardness. So mum's ringing or your best friend's ringing, okay, you swipe to answer and you go, kia ora. Okay, and I guarantee you, 9 times out of 10, that person, they might get a bit surprised. They go, that's weird, Anton never says kia ora. But they'll probably say kia ora back to you. And I do this all the time with strangers. Kia ora, Anton speaking. That's what I do. That's how I answer the phone. Kia ora, Anton speaking. And 9 times out of 10, I'll get an awkward pause, or I'll get a response with, oh, kia ora, Anton. Nice to this is so-and-so from blah, blah, blah. So that's the stage number 2. Stage number 3, and this is the hardest part, okay? But if you can get to this within a week, props to you. Let me know who you are. I'll send you a fush voucher. Face-to-face. Kanohi kite kanohi. That's what we call it. Face-to-face. Now, obviously, we're living in a COVID-19 world, so we have to be face-to-face, but social distancing face-to-face. But this is where you step out of your bubble. Actually, no, that's the wrong word, okay? Where you step out of your comfort zone, stay in your bubble, okay? Be responsible. Step out of your comfort zone, and I want you to have a go at using kia ora to a stranger. Now, I would encourage you to start at the supermarket or at the local shop or at the local ware warehouse or restaurant or cafe, but don't start at your normal local cafe or at your normal supermarket. Go 1 suburb over and buy your flat white from a different cafe to practice a couple of times to build your confidence. Because the last thing you want to do is embarrass yourself at your local cafe where you go to every single day and buy your flat white, and then it's too awkward for you to go back again. We don't want to do that. So go 1 suburb over, have a go, practice at another cafe and build confidence, and then go to your local and practice kia ora. But the idea behind this is to try and normalize that word kia ora, okay? Now, I'm just looking at the time. It's 20 past. I've got a couple more minutes, and then we'll open it up for some questions. So emails, kia ora. One way that you can sign off an email, you can also use kia ora to sign off your emails, because it does mean thank you or sort of like regards. But most people don't, well, a lot of people don't know that, okay? So another way that you can sign off, or 2 ways you can sign off your emails and you can sign off in real life, is ka kite, okay? 2 words, ka, K-A, new word, kite, K-I-T-E, ka kite, which literally means I'll see ya, or see ya, okay? Some of you may have heard ka kite anō. Anō means again, so you might say what you're saying is I'll see you again or I'll see you later. But ka kite simply means see ya, okay? And a little bit of body language, like I said, goes a long way. When you're saying ka kite, you know, that intonation in your voice is saying I'll see ya, ka kite. So that's one way that you can say goodbye. You can also sign off your emails if you actually are going to see that person. But the other way that I see people signing off emails a lot is ngā mihi. And ngā mihi is really, really cool. So I'm just going to give you like a little a pro tip. Ngā mihi nunui. N-U-I. Okay, so for those of you, so I'll spell that all out again. N-G-A, ngā. New word, mihi, M-I-H-I. New word, nunui. And what you're saying, because mihi means acknowledgements. So when you say ngā mihi, you're sort of saying acknowledge or the acknowledgements. But what you're saying by saying ngā mihi nunui is you're sort of just emphasizing it. You're sort of intensifying your regards, and so it kind of is like kind regards or many regards or lots and lots of thanks. Okay, so it's a really lovely way to sign off your emails. Ngā mihi nunui. So yeah, so those are, so what do we got? I'll recap. So we've got hui, meeting, whānau, family or, you know, community. We've got mahi, which is to work. We've got kaupapa, which is a really awesome theme or initiative. This I would consider as this is a really choice kaupapa to be a part of. We've got the Kia ora challenge, which I talked about at great length. 3 stages, starting off with your messages and your emails, moving into your answering your phone with Kia ora, and then the really super awkward but bold move is face-to-face, kanohi ki te kanohi, but social distance. And then we're talking about farewells, ka kite, which means see you, ka kite, and ngā mihi nunui, lots and lots of regards, lots of praise, and lots of thanks to whoever it is that you're speaking to. I did have some other words to go over, but we're probably running a bit short on time. So what I might do is just open it up for some questions. If you've got some questions, I'll do my best to answer them. If it's silent, then I might cover the last 3 words. How does that sound?
So what I might do is I might just do a social experiment on here.
Okay.
So I will unmute everyone, and we're just going to practice Kia ora, Anton, ka kite ano. Okay? So I will unmute, and I go 3, 2, 1, and everyone say Kia ora, Anton, ka kite ano. All right, let's try this. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Kia ora, Anton.
Ka kite ano.
Awesome.
Right, good job.
Great.
So
I will mute again. Mute everyone. Sweet. So one of the first questions for you, Anton, is where can we get a weekly 10 words to continue this?
Great question. A weekly 10 words, look, I don't know is a short answer, but I'll tell you about a really awesome mate of mine. His name is Hemi Kelly, H-E-M-I, Hemi, which means Jimmy or James Kelly. And he's got a really awesome book, which is a word a day, I think it's called, or a Māori phrase a day. But during the lockdown, he's actually set up a Facebook page, and it's free. It's a group. You can ask to join, and he'll accept you. I think last time I checked, they had about 10,000 people on there. And he is sharing all of his knowledge. He's a very good teacher. I personally endorse him. He's sharing all his knowledge, all his wisdom for free in little short daily videos. I would really encourage you, if this is something that you want to kind of take up, go and hook up to his Facebook page. It's called A Māori Phrase a Day. And just check that out. Go through the videos. He's an awesome teacher. He's really awesome to listen to, and he's very knowledgeable, and he knows his stuff. So look, if you want to kind of improve, then I'd encourage you to check out his Facebook page. Otherwise, there's tons of resources on there. It's really hard to get to sign up for a class because there's such high demand for classes at the moment. But the internet's a wonderful thing, but sometimes you just got to make sure that you're getting good, accurate information. And Hemi Kelly's Māori Phrase a Day is a really awesome place to start. Absolutely.
Cool. Just one question here. Can you repeat the name of that person you just mentioned?
Absolutely. Hemi, H-E-M-I, Kelly, K-A-L-L-Y. And while I've got you on, I'll just quickly double check that I've got that accurate, the name of his page. But if there's another question, feel free to send it my way.
Cool. Anyone have any questions? Please post up into the chat function. Okay,
so here it is here. It's called A Māori Phrase a Day. Can everyone see that? A Māori Phrase a Day. If you can't see, there's about 17,000 members on there at the moment. This was set up about 2 or 3 weeks ago in lockdown. It's a Facebook page, A Māori Phrase a Day. And this is his name, Hemi Kelly. Oops, sorry, wrong way. Oop, there we go. Hemi Kelly, he's the man. Go and sign up for his course. It's free.
Awesome. And there's a question about how can you give a quick tip on enabling macrons on computers? But I see that someone's posted the actual tech side, but most of the laptops and computers we can actually enable macrons. So please encourage you to do that, especially adding to your signatures of your emails, and also writing messages on, say, Messenger on Facebook as well.
Awesome.
Cool. Any other questions? Feel free to post. We've got 3 more minutes. If we don't, do you want to go over the last few words?
Yeah,
Anton?
look, I'll talk about one word, because I have aroha, manakitanga, and kaitiakitanga. I think I heard people talking a lot about aroha before, which is really cool. What I'd like to talk about really, really quickly is the word manakitanga, which you may or may not have heard in the past, but I think it's a really important word to be aware of at the moment because we're going to need a lot of manakitanga, and how that works, the duality of manakitanga and mana. So I'll try and do that in a couple of minutes. Look, as Māori, I was always brought up to believe that everything goes in pairs, okay? Up and down, good and bad, darkness, light, men, women, etc., etc. Tapu and noa, you might have heard those terms before, and mana and manakitanga. I was always brought up to believe, that those two are a pair. So manakitanga is is concerned with what can be given by a person. It's often translated to mean hospitality or just taking good care of people. So when someone comes over to your house, the tikanga, the notion of manakitanga tells us that we need to ensure that they don't want for anything. That even if you don't even have $2 to rub together, that you go to the tap, pour them a glass of water, make sure that they're comfortable. If you've got a packet of biscuits in the pantry, you grab it out and you be a good host. That's manakitanga. And manakitanga manifests itself in many, many different ways, okay? But really, it comes down to what you can give, okay? So manakitanga is all about what can be given by a person or a group of people. The opposite, therefore, of manakitanga is mana, okay? And mana is one of these words that we throw around all the time. We say, oh, Jacinda Ardern has got a lot of mana, or the All Blacks have got a lot of mana, or that person, that community leader, they got a lot of mana. But I really think it's important to understand, how do you get mana and how do you hold on to mana? And the answer to that, the short answer, is by practicing manakitanga. You can't have one without the other, and you can't really understand one without the other. You need to understand mana and manakitanga as a pair. They're like yin and yang. They go together as a pair. And so only through practicing manakitanga, being really, really good at looking after people, by giving your time, by being generous, by being hospitable, only by practicing that side of the equation, the manakitanga, will your mana enhance. So you can be born with mana. If you're born of a great chief or a great leader, then you will be born with a certain amount of mana. That's inherent. But holding on to it is another story. The only way you can hold on to your mana is by being very, very good at practicing manakitanga, which has been hospitable and generous. So those are the 2 words that I really, because we're running out of time, mana and manakitanga, they work together. So if you want to be someone who has mana and who holds mana and who increases their mana, get very, very good at looking after the people around you, showing hospitality, being generous with your time, your resources. And I think that's what we need at the moment as we kind of emerge out of lockdown. We're going to have to be practitioners. We're going to have to be the manifestation of manakitanga. And if you can do that, you will be known as someone in your community who has tremendous mana. So, yep, I encourage everyone to practice manakitanga, be generous with your time and your resources. And kia kaha, yeah? I'm out of time, so I'll leave it there.
Kia ora. I would like to invite you to all to show our appreciation for Anton for this session. Yes. Kia ora, ngā mihi. All right, so for